Right, so welcome again, everybody, and to our regular visitors to the call, welcome. Happy to have you, and to those first timers. If you are first timer to the call, well, special welcome to you as well. Would like you to type in the chat where you are from, which city, or where in the world you are. Please type it into the chat. But with no further ado, we're going to start out with Mr. Stephen Golden, and he is a gentleman who wears several hats. And I won't mention the fact that he went to Campion or anything like that. And I wouldn't go down that road and I went to Campion. We're not going to do that school thing today. Just want to mention that we have had several persons that have spoken about
You have the armband.
yes, the armband. Listen, as you know, we have a lot of respect and regard for our first national hero who has done so much, and we believe that there's a lot more to be done and to be said about his pioneering work. He's our first national hero, Right Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and on August 17th, we celebrated his birthday, and we thought it's very fitting that we should have Stephen Golden on to just share about the significance of his work. And, as you know, that even as I head up north, I'm actually going into the region that Garvey did the majority of his pioneering work and his work of legacy. So, Stephen Golden, with no further ado, I want to welcome you to the call. I'm going to ask you, everybody, to give some thumbs up, some claps in the chat as we welcome Mr. Stephen Golden. No.
DG.
Yeah.
We'll ask you to unmute, yeah.
Yeah. So he started in Florida, in Miramar, and he's an annual person here at our event here in Miramar for Black History Month. And he's made his way into Atlanta, and he's a fixture there. He has made his way into several other cities. But we are very happy about that because this is pioneering work, and we encourage Stephen, and we are behind his work. And Stephen, let's start out. Welcome to the call, and tell us, why is it so important for us to pause and recognize the work of our first national hero, Right Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey?
Well, let me say greetings, CG, and greetings to your listeners and everybody on the call. Let me also take the opportunity to publicly congratulate you on your appointment to New York. It's so privately, but I do so now publicly. Of course, I told you we're already waiting for you because our annual Garvey Symposium in New York is every May 16th. So we're gearing up for that, and we know having you there is going to give it that extra lift. Certainly were the inspiration behind creating the Global Garvey Symposia series, which we started in 2024. Having said that, Garvey Day was wonderful here in Jamaica on Monday. We commemorated the 139th anniversary of his birth. I had a special guest down here this year, Mr. Colin Garvey, who is the grandson of Marcus Garvey, who came and for the first time, laid a wreath at the shrine of Garvey on behalf of the family. He went with me also out to St. Anne's Bay, where we joined with the mayor and the St. Anne Municipal Corporation in their annual civic ceremony. And we also did a special handover of the Daddy Marcus nursery rhymes to some of the early childhood institutions in St. Anne. Now, the Florida listeners will remember the last time we did the Florida Garvey Symposium with you this year. We presented the Daddy Marcus nursery rhymes and got a lot of support. So since then, we have set out to find 25 Jamaican companies to sponsor 100 of those books each, so that we can put at least one in each of the 2,500 early childhood institutions we have across the island. And we have already gotten the sponsorship of 5 companies. So we have 500 that on Friday, we handed over to the Early Childhood Commission to begin that distribution. And I got to say, big up to Ray and Nephew Foundation, San Myrna Foundation, Joan Gordon Foundation, as well as Wesinco, CariMed Foundation. Those are the 5 companies who stepped up to be the first 5 out of the 25. So as I said at the civic ceremony on Monday in St. Anne, we're looking for for 20 more companies. And even though I started out looking in Jamaica, I'm not limiting it to Jamaican companies in Jamaica. So for the diaspora, for those companies in the diaspora who want to give back and support the initiative in Jamaica, they can reach out to us and we would be happy to get their support. You know, those books are decolonizing the early childhood educational curriculum. We are repairing the narratives of the old nursery rhymes that, as I pointed out in the lectures last year, some of which contain the seeds of white supremacy, which undermines the confidence of our children. You know what Marcus Garvey said, if you don't have no confidence in self, you're twice defeated in the race of life. So it was a wonderful day. There were activities happening all over. Dr. Umar Johnson was here. He spoke in Tivoli Gardens, in Denham Town in the evening. We had the annual wreath-laying ceremony in the morning. Of course, Minister Grange was there. Quite a number of ministers were there. But Minister Samuda was there for the first time. Of course, St. Anne's Bay, where Garvey was born, is in his constituency. Minister Charles Jr. was there. Minister Favour Williams was there. And a number of others. So it was a great turnout. You know, next year is going to be 140. And I already hear their plans are being put in place to have an even bigger celebration for the significance of that milestone.
Wonderful, Mr. Golding. So I see you're really making an effort to keep Mark Garvey's message on the minds of young people with the nursery rhymes. Why is that important to keep the message alive?
Well, you know, for years we've been talking about why we don't teach Garveyism in the schools. And for the last 2 decades, we have been, you know, studiously sort of configuring how we do that, because we've always said teachers can't teach something they themselves haven't been taught. So what we're developing now are the instruments for the teachers to use in the schools. And we thought it was appropriate to start at the earliest level, which is what we used to call the basic school level, or, you know, the kindergarten years between the ages of 3 and 6, because these are critical years. If you think about it, you still remember those old nursery rhymes, you still remember your ABCs and all of those things you learn at that early childhood stage. So, you know, the science shows that the things we put in our minds at that age are the things we never forget, even when we forget other things that are more important. You know what I mean? You'll get old and forget even your children's name, but you'll remember that nursery rhyme you learned when you were 4 years old. So because of that, we decided to start at the early childhood level with the most obvious one, you know, which is incorporating our cultural and historical aspects into our nursery rhymes, because there's no reason why we should be teaching children in Jamaica that London Bridge is falling down when that nursery rhyme was written 300 years ago, when London Bridge was actually falling down. Now, better we give them a nursery rhyme about Flat Bridge, you know, something that makes them grounded in their own identity and their own cultural perspective.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. All right.
So Stephen, I want to thank you. You did a whole lecture on the nursery rhymes recently in Florida, part of our lecture series. And you know, there's so much more that could be said, but we didn't want the period to pass without putting some focus on our first national hero. And I want to just give a big shout out to Mr. Burning Spear, who, you know, his entire life's work has been based on just honoring, well, a major part of it. And he even put out a thing the other day, Stephen, to say, and had me and Babs' name quoted there. He said he want a holiday. He want a holiday for Garvey, right? And he and a couple other things he requested he had made. But we want to thank you for your work. I know a lot more can be said, and we'd love to bring you back on the program. And just to say that I concur with everything you have said, and we need to do a lot more to really recognize the work that Garvey has done for the entire movement. Garvey was he was the forefather with the entire movement, and certainly I don't think he has gotten the full recognition. Jamaica has recognized him as the first national hero, but I do believe it here in the United States. I don't think he has gotten his due, and so we still have work to be done. And so, Stephen, thank you for the work that you are doing here on the ground in the diaspora, state by state. You're taking it one by one and doing the work to get more people aware and involved in ensuring that Garvey's legacy is intact and that the work continues in terms of the education. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, PG. And again, we look forward to seeing you in New York when we get up there next year. For those messaging me about supporting the book project, I will leave the WhatsApp number in the chat so you can talk to me directly, and we figure out how we can receive that. So.
And Stephen is one of the best. Not you didn't ask me to say this, but I will say, those who have heard Stephen will know that he is an excellent speaker, one of the best I've heard, and he conveys the message in a very compelling fashion. In fact, the first time he came down here, I because the evening was running long, I said, "Boy, Stephen, just go for just do it, no more than 10 minutes." He had the audience spellbound for another hour after that period in time and wanted more. They insisted that Stephen come back. So kudos to you, Stephen. Keep up the great work. And we appreciate all you're doing and look forward to deepening our engagement.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Golding. All right. So up next, we'll have our power nugget, CG.
Yes, Mr.
Alvin.
All right.
Yes. So every week we have a little power nugget, right? To inspire folks, carry them through the week. And Mr. Alvin Day, he's on. We're just going to ask you to unmute. Yes, we can. Okay, we see you. Okay.
Awesome. Well, good afternoon, my friends and colleagues. I am delighted to share a moment with you, and I'm so thrilled to hear about our move to take the nursery rhymes from across the pond right to where we live. That's where they belong. Last week, we ended up talking about the stuff that happens in our lives, and people put in the chat stuff is going on. And today I want to move one step ahead and talk about how we can leverage that stuff. I want to share something with you here. You may not be able to see it very clearly. This is one of my credit cards, and this is my wedding ring. You can see this. Yeah, this is my wedding ring with diamonds in the front. My wife decided that both of us needed to wear a ring. Now the question is, what do a credit card and a ring have in common? Which of these is better? The wedding ring costs some money, but in one fell swoop you could buy it with a credit card, depending on the credit limit that you have. And the dynamics between these two go like this. You can have whatever you want right now with this one. Immediate gratification. It's wonderful. Thousands of dollars at our fingertips to spend. When you find yourself as a credit card, you can gratify all your pleasures right now. When you are gold, you come out from under the mountain dirty, looking like a piece of rock. You have to be put on an anvil and beaten and smashed. And then you're put in the fire and turned up close to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit and baked and boiled until you bubble on the surface. And then you're poured into a vat, and you are then burning off all the impurities around you, and it's tough and it's suffering and it's within an inch of your life, you think. And when you're done, somebody takes sandpaper or something rough and smooths you and scrapes you and tries to get you to look decent, not like an old dirty rock anymore. Drills holes in you, puts you into a form, and shapes in you a ring and puts diamonds inside you. And now, you don't have the ability only to get pleasure, but your inherent intrinsic value that lasts for decades. I've had this ring on for 40 years. Well, I'm not that old, let's say. I've had it on for decades. And it never tarnishes, and it never leaves my finger. Those of us who, at the age of 30 and 50 and 60 years old, want to leave a legacy behind of enduring value, must come to recognize that in order to do so, we must be careful about going after quick pleasure and gratification. That's the sensible part. But the other part that may not make as much sense is those of us who want to leave a legacy behind have to realize that the way the system works, and when I say the system, I mean the way that life is designed, I mean nature, I mean science, I mean the rules of society, I mean the economy, is that you have to suffer first. You have to go through trial first. You have to be beaten up first. You have to go through the mallet and the anvil first to acquire that kind of value that is enduring, that can be left behind. I think when I die, this might go to my daughter and she might pass it on to somebody else. To leave a legacy behind means that we have to have a tolerance for pain. That one rough, and I've had arguments with God about that, and yeah, I never win those arguments. Why is life designed that way? But lest you should think that it is just the gold ring, which is sort of an aberration, let me give you further evidence that this is how life works. You see, first of all, I'll give you my dear grandmother. She said, if you want good, your nose happy. Oh, go. If you want good, your nose happy. GCG, you know that saying?
If you want good, your nose have to run.
Your nose have to run. There's some suffering, there's some sickness, some ailment, some stuff you have to go through if you want good in your life. Good in your life is not the immediate pleasure of give me now. And we train our children not to get everything that they want right now because we want them to do what the Apostle Paul wrote to the Romans and said. The Apostle Paul in Romans chapter 5 verse 3 says, I glory in tribulation. I take pleasure when the pain comes. Bring it on, he said, because it produces endurance. If you want to run 100 meters and you don't have 100 meters and you don't have endurance to go 50, you can't win that race. And the endurance produces character. I become a better person in the fiber of me, my being. And now it is that fiber, that endurance, that produces the hope that I can impart to others to leave a legacy behind. That's one example. The other one is my grandmother. But let me just give you some more. One, the seed goes into the ground and it must swell up and go in the dark and burst to produce an orchard. The soldier goes through boot camp. The soldier has to be punished and beaten up to defend the country. Mama, you were a trouble to your mother when you were born because you caused her to walk around with a big bag for 9 months and then she screamed within an inch of her life in order to give birth to you. I'm done. Let me say to you, ladies and gentlemen, as I have to say to myself, if you want a legacy, if you want a life that produces hope and goodness in the lives of other people, you have to have a tolerance for constructive pain. Life is actually working on you when you think it's not working. So you who are going through your stuff right now, hang in there. Persevere. Don't give in. Dig in. Know that after the fire comes the polish that makes you a worthwhile piece of gold. And I read you one last quote from this book, If Caterpillars Can Fly, So Can I. Legitimate pleasure is pleasure for which you pay before you enjoy the merchandise. The pleasure you enjoy before you pay is illegitimate, and you are likely to continue paying long after its merchandise is gone. I know the stuff is happening. Hang in there. Hang in there is working on you.
Thank you, Mr. Day, executive leadership coach and author. And you authored that book, right?
Yes, I authored If Caterpillars Can Fly, So Can I. And you can see this at alvinday.com, simply www.alvinday.com.
All right. So you can put that in the chat. We'll put that in the chat for you. And at Alvin Day Speaks, that's your Instagram handle, right?
Yes, Alvin Day Speaks, yes.
All right. So look forward to more power nuggets as the weeks go by. Thank you, Mr. Day. Wonderful. Wonderful. Joma, Miss Joma, I see your camera on. Hey there.
And by the way, thank you very much.
All right.
And can you just put the link in for the WhatsApp group so people can join in as we go along? the WhatsApp group, and very powerful messaging about tolerance for pain and growth. Very apt. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sir Alvin, and doing this series for us on a weekly. All right, so Doc, who is next?
Up next, Miss.
All right, so just this week, I read a news article, and it spoke about a banker who left his job to start a business in Jamaica, and the business produces garbage bags. He left a very senior position in the banking system and producing garbage bags in entrepreneurship. And I said, wow, look at that. And that is cutting down the imports that we have as a country, and it's producing it in Jamaica. And I said, what a powerful message of entrepreneurship. And we reached out to him, and so we invited him here today, and he's one of our guests from 7 Industries. So, Dr. Jones, our next guest.
All right. Mr. Jamie Hugh Brown is an entrepreneur and founder of 7 Industries.
Afternoon, everyone. First, I just want to say thank you for the invite. It is truly a pleasure. As I was listening to you, Dr. Day, you're absolutely right. Everything that we want in life, it has to come at a price. And if the price is too low, then we need to reconsider. So very, very good presentation. So just a quick synopsis. I'm Jamie Hugh Brown. Been living in the US for a little bit over 8 years, 8 going 9 years. Grew up in Jamaica, went to KC, went to UA, and then I left and I went to University of Rochester, Simon Business School. From there, got some internships, and then I landed at Citibank, which is the Treasury Department. And from there, I started to grow. My career, I moved from AVP to VP, and then the portfolio, I moved into more more high demanding teams or more higher level teams. But my dad was always in manufacturing. So he started, actually when I was leaving high school, he started tissue manufacturing, soap manufacturing. And then I left around that time, and, he wanted to retire. And, funny enough, looked at the garbage bags, and I'm saying, this is a very unique process. And to be honest, why we went to garbage bags is, one, it's heavily imported, but it's also something that we can compete with the world on, because where the raw materials is sourced is very important. It's hard to compete with another country when you're buying raw material from them. They're always going to have an advantage. So that was one of the things that we did. It's been quite a journey, and there's a lot more to go. To be honest with you, Jamaica has its beauties. I'll let we read between that one. But yeah, so we left Citibank. That was a tall order because I spent years building a career, and I was pretty young. I elevated pretty quickly. I worked very well with senior management.
You look very young.
He's being modest.
Continue.
Yeah. So, it was a tall order, to be honest with you. Even my manager, because the last team I was, as the video said, I was managing a lot of countries. The last team I was we only had 5 members in the team, and it's a team that, he reminded me. Funny enough, he reminded me before I told him that I was going to leave that I was selected for the team. So if I'm sure I want to leave, because, it's a very good team, and, I told him yes. And they were very supportive as well, because, they understood, and they would love to be honest with you, a lot of the senior managers, even though they're running the bank and, they're in very good positions, they were actually very happy because I was young, and they're saying, when I was young, I would want to do something as well. So, that's my encouragement, that we just have to start. It's never going to be easy, but we have to just start, and it's a matter of perseverance. If I would say one thing I've learned in the last year, is just literal perseverance. Brilliance is good. Your network is very good as well. But if you don't have the ability to persevere, you're gonna fall out the race.
Okay. So how can the diaspora support Jamaican businesses, Jamaican-owned businesses, and local manufacturing and such?
So we have a few different models. So the first thing is we'll be doing a direct to consumer very soon. With that, it's not that we're skipping retail, but in order to get the product out at a quicker rate, direct to consumer is the best way. And it also helps us, not to get too much detail, also helps us to manage the business. We have to be very meticulous, especially now, how to manage the cash flow because we're in our infancy. So it helps us to manage by going direct to consumer. So pretty soon, I would say everyone, I'm going to put our Instagram handle in the chat so people can go, they can follow. We have a landing page that's there as well. And you can sign up for a little notification. Once the products are launched, fully launched, then you can order for family members, you can share with others. Because, word of mouth is the best market. No matter how, we want to use social media, word of mouth speaks very strongly because you have that trust with the person. So I would say jump on the Instagram page, please follow us, and we can go from there. You'll get the updates and you'll see the products, making it way. And I want to add to, we just were in talks with a supplier in New York. He wants to, when everything is ready, we're going to get back to the drawing board and try and get the products going to New York. I just had a meeting with him last week. So just be on the lookout.
Mr. Brown, guess who's going to be in New York soon?
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
That's
Jim,
great.
so the products are, let me understand, they're currently being produced. Are you going to start?
We're going to start. We're still tuning machines, still bringing in some engineers.
Okay.
So,
Your target market will be you're producing it in Jamaica
Correct.
for the Jamaican market. Okay.
Yeah, so for the Jamaican market, our main goal is to try and decrease the exports, as you said in your opening. And once we get there, then we'd like to start doing exports.
so the products are what? Household hygiene,
Yes, thanks for
packaging.
asking. I should have led with that. So we have garbage bags. So we have two forms of garbage bags. You have the commercial garbage bags that's used in business places, and also you'll have the home garbage bags. And then we'll also have the toilet tissue, both for home and industrial, hand towels, paper towels, napkins, etc. And I have shopping bags. I'm also producing shopping bags. I'll have that's one of two machines in the island, and mine is one of one. So that's a big cheer for us because in the Caribbean, there's only one other of that machine, which is in Dominican Republic. So we'll be producing the shopping bags as well for businesses.
So just two quick questions. You said direct to consumer, not business to business. You weren't following that model.
Yeah, so we're going to do business to business as well and direct to consumer. The direct to consumer is because we won't be, in order to scale as quickly as possible, and also be closer to the customer, retail would take longer. So if we're able to go direct to consumer, you're able to jump on an app and you can order the products and go from there.
All right. Well, thank goodness we live in the world of social media and the internet and all this technology, right? Making it possible.
Yes.
Thanks.
What stood out for me as we close, Jamie, is that you were willing to take a risk. I mean, albeit your father had experience in manufacturing, and so you have a little of that background. But the fact that you were able to give up the comfort of a 9-to-5 job and step out there is quite commendable. And a lot of people who have that aspiration have never built up the courage to do so. And even beyond the product, is that what drew me to have you on the program here today is the courage that you exercise and that leap of faith in stepping out from the certain to the uncertain. And a part of the mantra here on this is we want to support our Jamaican initiatives, and regardless of the stage, I mean, you're about to launch. We have people who have a business out there, and we want to encourage people here who may have that dream and aspiration to get out there and start and make that first move. And so I want to thank you for coming on the call. I'm sure, guys, if you're on the call and you feel inspired by the story here today, just please give some thumbs up in the chat, some clap, some fires, and this is what it's about. And when you get going, we're also asking the community to support and to pass on the message so that we can be supporting our Jamaican-owned businesses, and not because when you come in New York or whatever that we put him on.
Right. So, Mr. Brown, in the chat, please put the link for
I
folks to
will.
follow up. Yes.
I will.
You
Yes.
did. 7 Industries Limited. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Take
Thank
care,
you.
boy.
Jamie, before you go, just make sure as updates happen, send to us. We have a targeted WhatsApp group we can send to our community so they're able to support you as you go along.
Thank you. I will. Thank you very much.
All right.
On your own individual pages, we're also asking, just put out on your page as ready the link for the WhatsApp group that we have here for Link Up Live, so people can be a part of this community. A lot of people want this sort of engagement. My friend Rowan, who I should have been on his AI WhatsApp group yesterday and I forgot, and I'm sure AI has an app to remind me these things better, but I was supposed to go on his call 8 o'clock and got sidetracked. But Rowan in Orlando, he said to me, boy, I wish I knew about this before, because he enjoys this sort of engagement. He's building an AI community that is just around people who, just regular people who just want to learn more about AI and be in a conversation with fellow Jamaicans. And so he 1 week run, we're going to bring you on and just have you talk about some of the work that you're doing in AI. But a lot of people would want to be a part of that, a little bit more intimate setting, not a classroom setting, but a little WhatsApp group, and we chat hear about Claude and different things. Rowan, so I'm giving you the platform already. I'm gonna join your group, and we will talk about how we could create a group from this group that will be focused on just an AI conversation, and you can take the lead with that. So you see how much people said I'm already interested, Rowan. You have to go pay me.
Yeah.
But so guys, we're gonna move on to the next guest, Dr. Jones. Who is that?
Okay. I see Mr. Michael Forrest on. I'm not sure I see Miss Maria Brown on yet, so we'll go to Mr. Michael Forrest, Director of Bedward, a musical production.
Mr. Forrest, can you turn on your video, please?
So while he's doing that, so Michael Forrest is here in the community in South Florida. He helped us last year with our Jamaica Brew Festival, which is a literary and film festival. But he's a highly decorated actor in Jamaica and director. And he is actually the director of an upcoming production, which is going to be on the story of Bedward in Jamaica. A lot of you don't know about the powerful story of Bedward, and we are interested in getting that word out. But the production itself on Bedward is going to be one that you can't afford to miss. And Michael Forrest has actually acted in about 3 stages of Bedward in Jamaica. In fact, I've seen him at one where he did an excellent job in acting in Bedward, and other productions I've seen him in. But a fierce advocate for Jamaican culture, very experienced, very accomplished, and they are about to have their production in South Florida. But welcome to the call, Mr. Michael Forrest. What can people expect in the upcoming production on Bedward, and why is it so important that we know the story of Bedward?
Well, thank you very much for having me. When I heard you talking, I wondered if just me you was talking about or somebody else. These great things. Thank you very much, Consul. Thank you very much, people. Why Bedward? Bed is a very important part of Jamaica's cultural, social fabric of history, especially in the 1920s when he inherited the Jamaica Native Baptist Free Church from a Virginian Baptist preacher. And in a short time, he built that church to over 30,000 followers. Wow. And that, of course, that brought him into direct confrontation with the colonial authorities at the time, who felt that he was a dangerous man to have a church like that up in Augustown. His sermons preached not only about the spiritual needs of his people, but also for the physical needs of his people. And so those kind of sermons began to get him into direct confrontation with the authorities at the time. And I think that Bedward is a remarkable yet controversial character. He led the way for many of the splinter groups that would come after the decline of his organization. The Rastafarian movement, for instance, which got its genesis in the 1930s, a lot of Bedward's followers, after the camp broke down and there was disappointment, segued into that movement and into the right revivalist movement in Jamaica. Bedward was arrested and tried for wandering at large. Wandering at large. He was convicted as a lunatic and was committed to the Bellevue Hospital, where he spent many years fasting and praying until his death. He died at the age of age 82. So there's been a lot of fable about Bedward, in particular to his prophecy that he would ascend to heaven. Yes, he did. Yes, he did make that ascension, that prophecy. And over 5,000 people came to that camp that night to ascend with him. Of course, he postponed it 3 times, the last time for 17 years. So all this fool make up story about him climb up in a banana tree or some breadfruit tree and try to jump out. That is just absolute rubbish, that people who weren't even there did that. But on the other hand, his baptisms in the Hope River and the miracles that he performed is stuff of legend. And writers from all over the world, newspapers, magazines, people who came to his baptism at the Hope River were cured of whatever ailment they had. And so his movement really took root and began to grow. And I say that many of our preachers in Jamaica now, and yes, Bedward could be classified as a Black Power movement. It really was that. Many of our Black preachers now have a debt of gratitude to Bedward, because it is Bedward that really opened the way for them when he came along, greatly influenced by Paul Bogle, greatly influenced by the 1865 Morant Bay Rebellion and all that history behind him. And to form a church like that, which began to draw members from the established Roman Catholicism and Anglican Church. Incidentally, the bishops, not all, and the Bishop Carter, and I stand corrected, staged marches in half a tree forbidding their members to associate with Bedward to go to any of his healings. So you should know the kind of impact that he was having. Unfortunately, Bedward was erased from Jamaica's history, but he was around very much the same time when Garvey was around. When Garvey was up here in UNIA in Harlem, yeah. Bedward was in Jamaica doing his ministry. He had branches all over Jamaica. He had branches in Costa Rica, Cuba, and parts of the United States. And people come talk about Bedward Dunce. He may not have had a degree in theology, but he certainly was a dynamic leader. He went to Panama as a young man, pretty much the same trips that Garvey made before Garvey, and was shocked by the working conditions that he saw. The majority of Black people working there who were underpaid. So he came back to Jamaica twice. He went and came and got sick for a while and got better. And he became a member of the Jamaica Native Baptist Free Church.
Oh my God, let me tell you, and as I'm listening to you, boy, I tell you, you're going to have to come back, because it's so much information on Bedward that is captivating. And I'm sure 99% of the persons on the call are hearing this information for the first time. Many with the song, dip them, Bedward, dip them.
Yeah.
The healing stream.
Yes.
Dip them deep, but not too steep.
That's right.
Your bad feeling. So I'm going to invite you back, Michael, for the sake of time. I'm going to allow for the other person to come, but how can persons start buying tickets, Michael, in 30 seconds for the production, and what date is it?
Well, okay, quickly. I'm guaranteeing people a great musical, great show with over 25 people singing of hymns and a great, fantastic acting and a true story. Tickets are online at louisebennett.com and at the Lauderhill Performing Arts Center, where you can get your tickets to buy. It's already on sale.
Okay. We put the flyer in the chat. And that's September 19th and 20th, right?
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. And you're going to see a show that has the legacy of a Noel Dexter, who really organized these hymns from the 1984 production from Dr. Maria Smith, God bless her soul, who is now deceased, who did her doctoral thesis on revivalism and Bedwardism in Jamaica. The legacy continues. I have been, as a humble servant, been asked to direct it, and I'm honored and really, really feeling very good about it.
Mike,
Wonderful.
thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right. We
Well,
hit
we had a comment in the chat from Mr. Ron Garrix. You just mentioned him a while ago. He said
Ron.
he lit Bedward at Philip Sherlock
Ron,
back in the day.
Rough, go talk. I see the overwhelming about the AI thing. So you have got created as the
Yeah.
CG AI group. Ron, you and I will talk about it. I forget little ownership of this thing, but you and I will talk. But everybody is interested in this AI thing, so we have to, and it's good. And yes, CG AI group, right? Nice.
Rowan will connect. We'll work on that.
And set up it,
And
or we can put it in the WhatsApp group, or we can get it started. People, we are about empowering our Jamaicans right here, wherever they are around the world. So this is very good. And we're going to move on to the next speaker, Dr. Jones.
we have Miss Marie Brown, registered nurse, CPR instructor and provider, documentation trainer, health and wellness coach, and award-winning author. Miss Brown?
I am not
You see Miss
seeing
Brown on?
her.
Is she a different name?
You on?
I'm not. She was on
And-
earlier, but I'm not seeing her now.
It's a longer name. It's not Kamaria. Miss
No,
Kamaria.
Kamaria is
No,
in
no.
Atlanta.
Marie Brown.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Anytime Marie left on us. Let me go find her.
All right.
And that was the
Yes.
first speaker, right?
Yes, that's the last speaker.
Okay.
But in the meantime, we had over maybe almost a dozen people join the WhatsApp Live CG, the
Ex-
WhatsApp group.
Is everybody on? I see my good friend from Atlanta, Joma McLeod, Leila. Joma, are you in the group?
She had a comment from Mr. Alvin Day, though.
No, you have to join the WhatsApp. Guys, everybody on this call, you must join the WhatsApp group that we have. This is where we keep you, let you know what's happening specifically with things to do with this call, the weekly call. So just take a moment now. Gavin Johnson, you signed up? Yes, you did. All right. So just put that there in the group again. So you just click on it. Joma, everybody else, Joma, everybody, just click on it so you can join the group, all right? No scamming. All right. So I see President Event Taylor Reynolds, and just to let
Yes.
you know that I am coming to Atlanta. Yvette is arranging a send-off, and then Nikki Jones has to do the same for Houston, right?
Yes.
But
Certainly.
all right, is Marie here?
Okay. Dr. Howard
Add him to the
wants
WhatsApp.
to, yes. Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I think Joma had a comment up for Mr. Day, but you want to put it in the chat, Joma?
Joma, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
has a question too. So we could probably open the line, and if thing is not on,
Okay.
we could ask a question. So Jason or Dr. Jones, you can open the line for her.
Yes, I'll ask you to unmute, Joma. Okay, there we go.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good to see everyone faces. Well, Mr. Day mentioned in regards to the, credit and the diamond ring. As you all know, I'm in the credit industry. I'm in that credit space. So I wanted to say a credit card buys you the moment, but a
Yes.
diamond ring promises forever.
Wow.
So I just wanted to share that with you guys, okay?
Great, great. Mr. Day, we're gonna ask you to unmute.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
You want to say something to that?
Yes, Joma, that is exactly right. And sometimes when we buy into a metaphor or a principle, we tend to polarize them. One's right and one's wrong. And we latch onto one, which means we don't want anything to do with the other. But life is actually different. Both of them work together. So a credit card can actually facilitate your long-term pleasure. It's a matter of how well you use it and the principles that you use in accessing funds quickly. So yeah, this is not to invalidate credit cards, it's to say they have a role, but man, when it comes to the long-term satisfaction, it is that value forever that you talk about, Joe, man. Both of them work in the right contexts.
I see Dr. Marilyn Jones agrees with that. She's at the Texas Chamber. Yeah. All right.
Thank you very much. I want to use this opportunity to recognize first timer today, Mr. Andrew Pierman, a good friend of mine, with a noted businessman and supporter of the community. Andrew, I think it's your first call, so welcome to the call. And yes, I think, yes, Andrew, say a few words. Let's open up for Mr. Pierman, please. And then Kerry has a question, yes.
Okay, we'll ask you to unmute, Mr. Pierman.
You have to unmute, Andrew. Yeah.
Yes, we see you.
Hi, just want to say hi. I'm actually here in Kingston. Hello to everybody. And CG, we haven't gotten a chance to talk yet, but congrats on the promotion, which is enormous. And I know that you will bring to the rest of the USA what you've done for Florida. Just want to say hi. This is the first time I'm actually taking part in this, and I'm just so sorry that it took so long for me to get online, but I'm definitely going to be on.
How did you hear about the call, by the way? Andrew, thanks for your kind words.
Right. I found it very instructive. I found the sense of community and possibility that's there to be enormous. And I'd really like for more people to come on board.
Oh, you heard about it?
I saw an invite that came through on one of the on one of your office's email.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
I'm going to tell my crew about it as well and get everybody on. It is so, just to take a little time, even in lunch, I was actually multitasking, and just to hear what happens and hear everybody's impact and feedback, it has been enormous,
Excellent. And why I stopped to pause for Andrew too as well, because going forward, though we are not an avenue to looking to raise funds for the for any individual, we do in the future we'll be taxing a few companies, and Andrew, it's ideal. So strategically, I pause. I'm just kidding. Andrew, very supportive of the community with events, and his company has been very supportive over the years. And he's a good friend of mine, so I can run joke with him all the time.
All right, I see in the chat, Marcia Jackson from the UK. It's our first time on the call too.
Oh, excellent. Marcia, welcome.
Yes.
I know Marcia.
All right.
Well, Marcia Jackson. Yes, welcome to the call. All right.
Yes. All right. So with that, we may have Miss Maria next time.
Oh, Kwame McPherson. Listen, after Kwame McPherson, one of the biggest names in the literary world, is on, and Kwame, it's an honor to have you on the call, sir. I mean, honor everybody. I just want to recognize Kwame. He is a gentleman, one of the giants, in the literary world. So you have a spotlight on Kwame McPherson. This is Kwame. Just say hello to us. Not seeing him here. So.
Mr. Kwame, he's on. I'm not
Kwame, can you turn on
window?
Thank you, sir.
Guys, I want you to get accustomed to turn on your cameras, man, and not.
That's cool, man. How you doing, sir?
Everybody have off them camera, man.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. It's just it's Marcia who told me this is happening, so I said let me just jump in and introduce myself. No, I know Alvin Day now. I don't think he's gonna remember me. Alvin Day came and did a book launch in Toronto when I was living in Toronto. Mm-hmm. Caterpillars Can Fly, was it? Is that the book?
If caterpillars can fly, so can I.
There you go. So you see, I don't think you're gonna remember me. But thank you, Oliver. Thank you for the big up. I just passing through to see what is what and get more information about what you're doing and see how I can be involved. So yeah.
And Kwame, why don't you just in 1 minute just give them some of the work that you have done?
All right. So 3 years ago, 3 years, time has flown so quickly. I was successful in the Commonwealth Short Story Prize, which is a global prize that comes from the Commonwealth Foundation. It was out of 642 entrants, submissions. I won for the Caribbean. I'm being the 6th person to win for the Caribbean and the 1st Jamaican to win for the world. So that's the main accolade. That, aside from that, there's a lot more work that I've done in terms of content creating and writing as a writer and so on. And Oliver, when he was in Florida, so happened to invite me up for, was it the Brew Festival? It was
Yes.
for the Brew Festival, and I got to meet Oliver there, and so I do a lot of work around writing and uplifting Jamaica in regards to our stories and our culture and through the storytelling. So that is it in a nutshell. But
Who can buy your books? Where can
online. Everything's online at the moment. I'm creating a website for people to go to. So once that's up and running, I'll let everyone know. It's going to be under my name, obviously. But at the moment, things on lulu.com, www.lulu.com, which is virtually like a Amazon space. But both on Amazon and Lulu, people can find my work.
Can you type that information? Yes, we can purchase the book.
Yeah, man, can purchase a book online. Like I say, Amazon or Lulu.com. It's virtually simple and easy to do. Thank you, everyone. Thanks.
So Kwame, we're going to book you to come and tell us about creating a short story. You'll be one of you're going to give a 5-minute talk on creating a short story.
And as a matter of fact, that storytelling can be a way of brand association, and brand selling. So we can create stories which also create a narrative that can help in building brands, and that's what I do in terms of when I'm selling Jamaica, as you know, Oliver. I always try to show it through storytelling and how to become.
Okay.
Great to see you.
Sure.
Great to see. Are you still in Toronto?
No, I'm not. I left Toronto, came back to London, left London, headed back to Jamaica, and I'm back in Jamaica now.
All right.
Jamaica to the world.
Funny enough, I'm back in London because my mother passed away recently. So that's why I said it's a quick thing now.
So sorry to hear.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you,
Mr. McPherson. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. George.
Yes. Thank you. I see Dr. Howard on camera, Jamaica Nurses Association.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Welcome. And Miss Samantha Hughes. Yes. All right.
Emily,
so if you
are you ready as you always to take us out?
Yes.
I'm sorry, did you call me?
No, Emily.
Emily, are you ready?
Yeah, on call. I think Miss Marie is trying to join the call.
1 second.
Yeah.
I think we may have to do Marie next time.
Yeah, next time.
So guys, there was a question about Substack.
If this is being recorded, we can look into it. Mr. Gavin, okay.
But we'll have it on YouTube on CG's YouTube channel. So
is everybody here in the YouTube? Everybody here now in the WhatsApp group? Because sometimes people say it's not them we're talking to. Everybody, join the WhatsApp group. You just click on the link. It's nothing fancy you have to do. You just click on the link and you're in the group. Nothing else. No other further step. There's no charge to do it. It's free of cost. All right.
Everybody likes free. All right, Miss Emily.
All right, here's a little song. Let's see. Okay. All righty.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Excellent.
Wonderful. All right. Well,
Um,
folks.
and I know we recognize former Honorary Consul Beverly Ford earlier, who is on the call. Thank you so much for your work in Houston and throughout the diaspora. And yes, so Dr. Jones, did you find the call very good today? If you found the call very good, just do some thumbs up,
Yes.
some fires in the group. And I'll give Dr. Jones the final word. Thank you for joining us. We will do next week. I'll do the call from a different location, but that's a different conversation. Love you all. Dr. Jones, final word to you.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We're here on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, 2 o'clock Eastern Time, 1 o'clock Central Time. It's really a wonderful way to connect. I think today's meeting was wonderful. Really love to see your faces. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Mr. Alvin Day.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Jones.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you. I sent you a DM, by the way, Dr. Jones.
Yes, I got it. All right. All right.
Thank you.
I would
Mr.
also,
Walker.
I would also like to welcome first time. She was Monique Downer in Immaculate in Jamaica. She's now Monique Johnson, I believe. And there, of course, also Professor Leslie Ann Miller when she was at Immaculate. She's now Leslie Ann Wilson in Texas, professor of biochemistry.
All right. And we see Miss Shernette Levis. That's so lovely for the call. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, everyone. Take care. Join the WhatsApp group. And if you missed anything, check out CG YouTube channel. It's all in the chat. All right. Thank you.
And